Picture the Baltic Sea on a freezing winter morning. The water is calm, but the radar screens along Sweden's coastline are not. Somewhere over the horizon, a contact appears for a brief moment before disappearing again. Within minutes, fighter jets begin rolling onto a stretch of highway that only hours earlier looked like an ordinary road. Trucks arrive with fuel, mobile radar units power up, soldiers move quietly into position across the island of Gotland. This is modern Sweden. For decades, Sweden was known as a neutral country that stayed outside military alliances and focused on defense rather than power projection. But the security environment in Europe has changed dramatically over the last few years. After joining NATO, Sweden is no longer just a quiet Nordic nation on the map. It has become one of the most strategically important military players in Northern Europe. So how powerful is the Swedish military in 2026? The answer is not simply about numbers of tanks or aircraft. Sweden's real strength lies in something more complex, a highly advanced defense industry, a military designed for rapid mobilization, and a strategy built specifically for one of the most contested regions in Europe. To understand why analysts are paying so much attention to Sweden right now, we need to look at three key areas: the country's growing military investment, its advanced air and naval power, and the unique strategy it uses to defend the Baltic region. Sweden is currently in the middle of the largest military expansion the country has undertaken since the Cold War. The Swedish government has significantly increased defense spending over the past few years, pushing military funding toward levels not seen in decades. By 2026, Sweden's defense budget is expected to reach roughly 2.8% of national GDP, with long-term plans to increase that figure even further before the end of the decade. This funding increase is not just about buying equipment. Sweden is also expanding its wartime military structure. The country is moving toward a force of around 115,000 personnel during wartime mobilization, including professional soldiers, reservists, conscripts, and the territorial defense units known as the Home Guard. Conscription has returned as a central part of the system. Each year, thousands of young Swedes now enter military training, creating a steady pipeline of trained personnel who can be mobilized if necessary.
At the same time, Sweden is reorganizing its ground forces into several brigades designed for modern warfare. These formations combine mechanized infantry, armor, artillery, and air defense into units capable of fighting independently across difficult terrain. The goal is not to create a massive army, but a flexible one that can move quickly and operate across Sweden's forests, islands, and coastal regions. And that flexibility becomes even more important when we look at Sweden's air power. Sweden's Air Force has long been considered one of the most capable in Europe, and in 2026, it is entering a new phase of modernization. At the center of that transformation is the Saab JAS 39 Gripen E, the latest version of Sweden's domestically developed fighter aircraft. Designed specifically for high-intensity conflict in Northern Europe, the Gripen emphasizes survivability, electronic warfare capability, and rapid deployment. Unlike many modern fighter jets that rely heavily on large air bases, the Gripen was designed around Sweden's unique defense doctrine. In a crisis, Swedish aircraft can operate from dispersed locations, including sections of highways that have been prepared as temporary runways. This approach reduces the risk of losing the entire air force to a single missile strike at a major base. Supporting these fighters are advanced airborne surveillance systems, such as the Saab Global Eye. These aircraft provide long-range radar coverage, allowing Sweden and its NATO partners to track air and sea activity across large parts of Northern Europe. Together, these systems create an air defense network that is both flexible and difficult to disrupt. And when combined with modern ground-based air defense systems, Sweden is building one of the most layered defensive airspaces in the region.
While Sweden's Air Force often receives the most attention, the country's Navy plays an equally important role in regional security. The Baltic Sea is a complex environment for naval warfare. Its waters are relatively shallow, heavily trafficked, and filled with islands and narrow shipping lanes. These conditions make stealth, sensors, and maneuverability far more important than sheer fleet size. One of Sweden's most distinctive naval platforms is the Visby-class corvette. These ships were designed with a stealth profile that reduces radar detection while carrying advanced sensors and missile systems. Operating in small groups, they're capable of monitoring large sections of the Baltic Sea and responding quickly to potential threats. Below the surface, Sweden is preparing the next generation of submarines, including the A26 Blekinge-class submarine. These boats are designed specifically for the Baltic's shallow and acoustically complex waters, where quiet propulsion and advanced sonar systems can provide a major tactical advantage. But perhaps the most important location in Sweden's naval strategy is the island of Gotland. Positioned in the middle of the Baltic Sea, Gotland acts as a strategic outpost capable of monitoring and influencing naval movement throughout the region. For NATO planners, control of Gotland significantly strengthens the alliance's ability to defend the Baltic states and maintain secure shipping routes. What makes Sweden's military unique is not just its equipment, but the strategy behind it. Rather than building massive formations designed for overseas conflicts, Sweden focuses on defending its own region with highly specialized capabilities. The military emphasizes mobility, dispersed operations, electronic warfare, and strong integration with civilian infrastructure. This approach is part of Sweden's broader concept known as total defense, in which military forces, government agencies, private industry, and even civilian institutions work together to maintain national resilience during a crisis. Sweden's defense industry also plays a major role in this system. Companies like Saab AB develop much of the country's advanced military technology, from fighter aircraft and radar systems to electronic warfare equipment. This domestic industrial base allows Sweden to maintain a high degree of independence in defense production, while also exporting technology to allied nations. In global military rankings, Sweden does not appear near the very top of the list. According to the Global Firepower Index, Sweden sits outside the world's largest military powers. But numbers alone rarely tell the full story. Sweden's strength lies in its ability to combine advanced technology, strategic geography, and a carefully designed defense doctrine. In the Baltic region, where control of airspace and sea lanes can shape the balance of power, those advantages matter far more than raw size. By the end of the decade, with new aircraft, submarines, and expanded ground forces coming online, Sweden is likely to become one of NATO's most important pillars in Northern Europe. Not because it is the biggest military in the alliance, but because it is built specifically for the battlefield where it matters most. And in the Baltic Sea, that specialization may be exactly what NATO needs.